I was just a hotel cleaner with a master key until I accidentally walked into room 322 and found myself staring down the barrel of a mafia boss's gun. How do you survive when the most dangerous man in the city decides your fate is now tied to his? I count the stains on the ceiling of room 312 to pass the time. 8 brown watermarks, shaped like countries on an old map. The majestic Grand Hotel isn't majestic or grand. It's where I've cleaned rooms for 3 years, scrubbing other people's messes for minimum wage, plus whatever coins they leave behind. My tiny apartment is even worse. Just one room with my mattress on the floor and a shower that works half the time. Mom needs her pills, and those cost money. Some days I work from sunrise to sunset just so she can have what she needs. I used to dream about going to college, but now I just change sheets and clean toilets. The smell of cheap cleaner fills my nose as I push my cart down the long hallway. The carpet is worn thin where thousands of feet have walked. My back aches from bending over tubs and toilets all morning. Mia, rooms 317 through 325 need cleaning before noon, my boss Marco shouts as he walks past. He doesn't even look up from his papers. The meeting people check in at 2. I nod without saying anything and push my heavy cart toward the elevator. The wheels squeak with each step. Just another Tuesday in my going-nowhere life. My fingers trace the small photo of Mom I keep in my pocket. 5 years ago, she could still walk without help. 5 years ago, I still thought I might escape this life. The elevator doors open with a tired ding. Inside, the mirrors show my tired face from 3 sides. Dark circles under my eyes, hair pulled back in a messy ponytail, the blue uniform that marks me as someone no one really sees. Hold the door. A man in an expensive suit rushes in, his phone pressed to his ear. He doesn't look at me, just stabs the button for the top floor. The smell of his cologne fills the small space. Yes, he's staying in room 322. The man whispers into his phone. Arrived last night. No. No one knows he's here. My ears perk up at his serious tone, but I keep my eyes down. The rich guests never want the cleaning staff to hear their business. When the doors open on my floor, I push my cart out and check my list. 6 rooms to clean before lunch, then 6 more after. 12 bathrooms, 12 sets of sheets, countless surfaces to wipe down. A young couple walks past me, laughing. The woman's diamond ring catches the light, bigger than anything I'll ever own. They don't see me standing there. I take out my master key card that opens all the room doors. It's the only power I have in this place, the ability to enter any room. Little do I know that this simple plastic card will soon change my life forever, opening a door I can never close again. What happens when an invisible person suddenly becomes the only one who matters? The master key card sometimes doesn't work right on the older rooms. I have to swipe it 2 or 3 times before the little light turns green. Room 317 is easy, just a business person who barely touched anything. The bed is still almost made, with just a small dent in the pillow. Room 318 is empty, already cleaned by the morning shift. But room 319 takes forever. Pizza crusts shoved under the bed, beer cans on every surface, and sticky spots on the carpet I don't want to think about. By the time I reach room 320, I'm running late. Marco will be mad if the rooms aren't done before the new people check in. My feet hurt in my cheap shoes, and my back aches from bending down to pick up trash. I swipe my key quickly, hear the click of the lock, and push the door open without thinking. Steam fills the air, warm and damp against my skin. The bathroom door is open, and someone is singing softly, a man's voice, deep and smooth like honey. I freeze in place, my cleaning supplies clutched tight against my chest. The room should be empty. All the rooms on my list should be empty. Before I can back away, a tall figure steps out of the bathroom. He has a white towel wrapped around his waist and water drops still shining on his shoulders. His dark eyes lock with mine, and his face changes from surprise to something cold and dangerous in less than a second. "Who sent you?" he asks, his voice quiet but sharp as a knife. I'm sorry, My words get stuck in my throat. My heart pounds so hard I think it might jump out of my chest. He moves faster than I thought possible, reaching behind the small table by the bed and pulling out a gun. My breath stops completely. "I asked who sent you." Each word comes out clear and hard. "Nobody. I'm the maid. This room was supposed to be empty." My voice sounds high and scared in my ears. I drop my cleaning basket, and bottles of soap and cleaner clatter across the floor. He looks at me for a long moment, his eyes narrowing. "Show me your ID." My hands shake as I pull my hotel badge from my uniform pocket. He takes it, looks at it closely, then glances at the door. "Room 320, he says under his breath, then looks back at me. "This is 322. My stomach drops to my feet. The key card worked, but I entered the wrong room. Such a simple mistake, but now I'm looking at the wrong end of a gun. "I'm so sorry," I whisper. "The numbers. They're hard to see on some doors. They're old." He lowers the gun just a little bit. "You're not very good at watching where you're going for someone who sneaks into hotel rooms." "I don't sneak. I clean. It was a mistake." My voice finds some strength. "I'll just go." As I turn to leave, my foot kicks a small black bag on the floor. The zipper is partly open, and as it tips over, stacks of money spill onto the carpet. Lots of money. More money than I've ever seen in one place. Our eyes meet again. I've seen something I shouldn't have. "I didn't see anything," I say quickly. His smile doesn't reach his eyes. "I'm afraid you did." He points to a chair with his gun. "Sit down. We need to talk about what happens next." My legs feel like water as I walk to the chair and sit down. The gun stays pointed at me. The man picks up his bag of money and zips it closed, then goes back into the bathroom. I think about running, but what if he shoots me in the back? What would happen to Mom then? He comes back dressed in black pants and a white shirt, no gun in sight, but I know it's close by. "What's your name?" he asks. "Mia," I say, my voice small in the quiet room. "Mia," he repeats, like he's testing how it sounds. "I'm Mr. Ricci." He walks to the window and looks out, his back to me. For a wild second I think about grabbing something to hit him with, but there's nothing close enough. "How long have you worked here, Mia?" 3 years. "Do you know everyone who works at this hotel?" "Most people." "Do you know who stays in which rooms?" I don't understand his questions. "Sometimes, if they stay a lot." He turns back to me. "Here's what's going to happen. You're going to forget you were ever in this room. You're going to forget what you saw. You're going to go back to cleaning rooms, and you'll never mention me to anyone. Understand?" I nod quickly, hope filling my chest. He's letting me go. "And once a day, you'll tell me who's staying on this floor, who's asking questions, who doesn't belong." The hope dies. "You want me to spy for you?" His eyes get hard again. "I want you to keep your job and stay alive. Those seem like things you want too." "Why would I help you?" He picks up his phone, taps a few times, then turns it to show me a picture of my apartment building. My stomach twists. "Because I know where you live, Mia. I know your mother is sick. And I know that without you, she has no one." He puts the phone down. "But help me, and I can make things better for both of you." Tears burn in my eyes. "How do you know about my mom?" I make it my business to know things. He comes closer and I can smell his cologne, something expensive and clean. "I don't want to hurt you. I just need someone with your access." "For what?" I dare to ask. Information is power in my business. He doesn't explain what his business is, but the gun and money tell me enough. What if I say no? His face goes blank. Don't say no, Mia. My mind races like a trapped animal looking for a way out. There isn't one. Okay, I whisper. What do I do? He smiles, for real this time. Smart girl. You'll come back tomorrow. Same time. Tell me what you see. Who comes and goes? He reaches into his pocket and pulls out a stack of bills. For now, a down payment. Buy your mother something nice. The money sits on the table between us, more than I make in 2 weeks. Take it, he says. You work for me now. As I reach for the money, his hand catches my wrist. His grip is strong but not painful. Remember, Mia, if you tell anyone about me, I'll know. His eyes hold mine, and I won't be this nice next time. He lets go, and I stand on shaky legs, picking up my cleaning supplies. Tomorrow, he reminds me as I reach the door. I nod and step into the hallway, my heart still racing. The door closes behind me with a soft click, but it sounds as final as a jail cell locking. What have I done? What choice did I have? For 3 days, I live in a state of careful fear. Not the kind that makes you run or scream, but the quiet kind that sits in your belly like a cold stone. I go through my normal cleaning routine, change sheets, scrub toilets, and wipe mirrors just like before. But nothing is like before. Now I watch and listen too. You're quiet today, says Jenny, another cleaner who works my floor. We fold towels together in the small laundry room that smells like soap and bleach. Just tired, I lie. My hands keep moving, folding one white towel after another into neat squares. I haven't told anyone about Mr. Ricci. I can still feel his grip on my wrist, still see his cold eyes. I touch the spot where his fingers held me. No mark shows, but I feel it all the same. Each evening, after my shift ends, I meet him in different places. The first night, it's in the small hotel gym that no one uses after dinner time. The second night, a service hallway near the ice machines. Tonight, it's the hotel bar, where the lights are dim and the music covers our words. I slide into the booth across from him, my work uniform exchanged for my only nice shirt and jeans. He looks different too. In place of the dangerous man with the gun, he wears a dark blue suit that probably costs more than I make in 3 months. His hair is combed back, and a silver watch gleams on his wrist. If I passed him on the street, I might think he was just a businessman, but I know better. Right on time, he says, checking his watch. A glass of amber liquid sits in front of him, the ice just starting to melt. Drink? I shake my head. No, thank you. He signals to the bartender anyway, who brings me a glass of water with lemon. I notice how the staff jump to serve him, their eyes careful not to stare too long. Did anyone ask about me today? Vito asks. Somewhere between our first meeting and now, he's told me to call him Vito instead of Mr. Ricci. The change makes me more nervous, not less. No, I reply, turning my water glass in small circles. But room 425 has 4 men who keep taking turns watching the hallway. They arrived this morning. His face doesn't change, but something flashes in his eyes. Good observation. He slides a folded white envelope across the table. For your mother's medicine. I stare at it, torn between need and shame. The money he gave me the first day is hidden under my mattress. I haven't spent a penny of it. Taking it felt like sealing a deal I never wanted to make. I don't want your money, I say, though my rent is due in a week. It's not a request. It's payment for services. His voice is smooth but firm. Spying isn't my job, I whisper, looking around to make sure no one hears. It is now. His phone buzzes and he glances at it. His jaw tightens just a bit before he puts it back in his pocket. I need you to clean room 425 tomorrow. Tell your boss you're covering that floor. Fear tightens around my chest. They won't let me in if they're still there. Vito's smile is cold as ice. They will if you say Mr. Ricci requested fresh towels. I swallow hard. Why me? You must have people who do this for you. I've seen men in dark suits watching him, following at a distance. Guards or soldiers, I'm not sure which. Because you're invisible, he says simply. No one notices the cleaning staff. No one remembers your face. And because now I have something you want. What's that? I ask, though I'm afraid to know the answer. He slides a colorful paper across the table, a booklet for the local community college. Your mother mentioned your interest in nursing when I visited her yesterday. My blood turns to ice water in my veins. You went to my mom's? I like to know who works for me. He takes a sip of his drink. She's very proud of you. 100 thoughts crash together in my head. He's been to my mom's small apartment. He's talked to her. Does she know what kind of man he is? Does she know what he's making me do? She thinks I work for a hotel investor, he says, reading my face like an open book. She showed me your high school graduation picture. You wanted to be a nurse even then. Anger pushes past my fear. Stay away from her. For the first time, he looks surprised. I'm not a threat to her, Mia. You're a threat to everyone. The words slip out before I can stop them. Instead of getting angry, he laughs. It's a real laugh that changes his whole face, makes him look younger. Maybe so. He leans forward. But right now, I'm your best chance at getting what you want. I just want to be left alone. No, you don't. His eyes hold mine. You want a better life. For you. And your mother. I look down at the college booklet, my old dreams printed in bright colors and smiling faces. How did everything get so mixed up? A week ago, I was just a hotel maid with no future. Now I'm sitting across from a dangerous man who knows too much about me, making plans I don't understand. Be careful in room 425. Vito says, standing and buttoning his jacket. Don't linger, but notice everything. As he walks away, I realize I've crossed a line I can never step back over. The next morning, my hands shake as I knock on door 425. My cart waits in the hall, stocked with fresh towels and sheets. Housekeeping, I call, trying to keep my voice steady. Mr. Ricci sent me with fresh towels. The door opens a crack, and a man with a hard face looks out at me. His eyes move from my face to my name tag to my cart. Behind him, I can see 3 other men. One is on the phone, another is cleaning a gun, and the third stands by the window, watching the street below. We didn't ask for towels, the doorman says. I hold up the stack of white towels. Mr. Ricci said you might need them. The name feels strange in my mouth, like it doesn't belong there. The man stares at me for a long moment, then opens the door wider. Make it quick. Inside, the room smells like cigarettes and coffee. Papers cover one bed, and a laptop sits open on the desk. The men watch me as I put the towels in the bathroom, their eyes following my every move. My heart pounds so hard I'm sure they can hear it. I keep my eyes down, but I see everything. A map of the city on the wall, pictures of buildings I recognize, and one picture of Vito coming out of a restaurant. All done, I say, heading for the door. Hold on, says the man by the window. He comes closer, and I can smell his aftershave, sharp and too strong. You work for Ricci? I shake my head. I work for the hotel, I just do what I'm told. He smiles, but it doesn't reach his eyes. Smart girl. Tell me, does he stay here often? I keep my face blank. Who? The man laughs and looks at his friends. She's good. He turns back to me. Run along then, thanks for the towels. In the hallway, I push my cart faster than normal, my legs weak with relief. I've done what Vito asked, but now these dangerous men have seen my face. They know my name from my tag. The invisible girl isn't invisible anymore. That night, I meet Vito on the hotel roof. The air is cool, and the city lights spread out below us like fallen stars. I tell him everything I saw in room 425. The map, the pictures, the gun. They asked if you stay here often, I finish. Vito nods, his face serious in the dim light. They're looking for me. Why? I dare to ask. He looks at me for a long time like he's making a decision. Because I have something they want. Money? Power. He leans against the wall. In my world, the two are the same. What is your world? I ask, though I think I already know. He doesn't answer directly. How does it feel stepping into a different life? Scary, I admit. Like walking on thin ice, like any minute I could fall through. But exciting too. His eyes search my face. I want to lie, but I can't. Yes, a little. He smiles, a real smile that reaches his eyes. That's how I know you'll be good at this. At what? Being part of my world. He steps closer. I should step back, but I don't. You've passed the first test, Mia. The next one will be harder. I didn't agree to any tests. You did when you took the money. His voice is soft but firm. But don't worry, I take care of the people who help me. As we stand there under the night sky, I feel the ground shifting under my feet. The life I knew is falling away, and I'm stepping into something new and dangerous. The scariest part is that small voice inside me that whispers, maybe this is your chance to become someone new. Weeks pass, and my life finds a new rhythm. By day, I clean rooms and listen for whispers. By night, I meet with Vito and tell him what I've learned. The fear still sits in my stomach, but now it has a partner. A strange, buzzing feeling that might be excitement. My once simple life now has secrets hidden in its corners. The weather turns cold, and rain taps against the hotel windows as I make my rounds. The guests track in wet leaves that stick to the carpet. I've learned to move through the halls like a ghost, eyes down but ears open. I notice things I never saw before. Who speaks to who? Which rooms get extra visitors? What names show up in the hotel computer that don't match the faces I see? You're different lately, Mom says when I visit her tiny apartment. The smell of soup fills the small kitchen and the TV plays softly in the corner. More awake. I smile and pour her medicine into her palm, the new pills from the better Dr. Vito found for her. I still haven't spent his money on myself, but I couldn't say no to helping Mom. Just busy at work, I tell her, not meeting her eyes. I've never lied to her before. It feels like a small crack in my heart. That night, I meet Vito in the hotel bar, our usual spot. The dark wood and soft lights make shadows on his face. He looks tired tonight, the lines around his eyes deeper than before. You have good instincts, Vito tells me after I describe a man who checked in with 3 different women on 3 nights in a row, each time using a different name but paying with the same credit card. Not many people would catch that. I've always been good at noticing things, I reply, warming under his praise. Just never had a reason to use it before. For the first time, I see real amusement in his eyes, not the cold smile he shows to others. What would you have done with your life if you hadn't been trapped by your mother's illness, Mia? The question catches me by surprise. No one asks me about my dreams anymore, not even me. I wanted to be a nurse, I admit, tracing the rim of my water glass with one finger. Help people, make enough money to move Mom somewhere better. He nods, looking thoughtful. Noble goals. What about you? I dare to ask. Did you always plan to be whatever it is you are? I still don't know exactly what he does, but I've seen enough to know it lives in the shadows. Instead of anger, his response is a surprised laugh. No one's asked me that in years. He swirls the golden liquid in his glass. I wanted to be an architect. What happened? Family business. His face darkens for a second. Some paths choose us. I try to picture him drawing buildings instead of carrying a gun, and somehow it fits. There's a precision to how he moves, how he thinks. Do you regret it? I ask, pushing my luck. He studies me for a long moment. Come with me, I want to show you something. We take the elevator to his suite. I've been inside before to deliver reports, but never stayed long. Now he walks to a desk in the corner and unlocks a drawer. From it, he takes a thick folder. My designs, he says, setting it on the table. From before. Inside are beautiful drawings of buildings that don't exist. Tall glass towers, homes built into hillsides, bridges that curve like ribbons. His fingers trace the lines with a gentleness I've never seen from him. These are amazing, I say, and mean it. Why did you stop? Sometimes we have to choose between what we want and what we must do. He closes the folder. My father died. The family business needed a leader. And the family business was... His smile is sad. Not architecture. For once, I don't push. We sit in comfortable silence, and I realize something has shifted between us. He's shown me something real, something hidden, and I'm not as afraid of him as I was. 2 days later, I'm delivering fresh towels to his suite when I hear shouting from inside. I hesitate, then use my key. Inside, I find Vito pressing a bloody cloth to his side, a broken lamp at his feet. Get out. He growls, but sways on his feet. Instead of running, I lock the door behind me and go to him. Let me see. It's nothing. His face is pale, his forehead shiny with sweat. I grew up taking care of my mother. I know when something isn't nothing. I guide him to the bathroom, surprised when he lets me. Under the bright lights, I help him remove his jacket and shirt. A cut runs across his ribs, about 4 inches long but not too deep. It bleeds steadily, turning the white towel red. What happened? I ask as I clean the wound with warm water. Disagreement about business. His eyes never leave my face as I work. Why are you helping me? I don't have an answer that makes sense, even to myself. Maybe I'm tired of walking away from things. He hisses when I press a clean towel against the cut. You should be afraid of me. I am, I admit. But not right now. His eyes soften. You'd have been a good nurse. I still could be. I find bandages in his bathroom cabinet and carefully cover the wound. My fingers brush against his skin, warm despite his paleness. Who did this to you? Someone who wants what I have. The men from room 425? He nods. They work for a rival, business owner. Will they try again? Yes. He catches my hand as I finish with the bandage. You should stay away from me, Mia. This isn't your fight. You made it my fight when you dragged me into it. I don't pull my hand away. Later that night, we sit on his balcony, watching the city lights. He's given me a blanket for my shoulders against the cold air. A bottle of wine sits between us, though I've barely touched my glass. Tell me something true, he says suddenly. What do you mean? Something real. Something you've never told anyone. I think for a moment. I hate cleaning hotel rooms. I hate the smell of the soap and how my hands get rough from the chemicals. But I love finding things people leave behind, little pieces of their lives, like I'm collecting stories. He smiles. What's the best thing you've ever found? A notebook filled with poems written by a little girl. She left it under the bed. They were about her dog who had died. I mailed it back to her parents' address I found on the hotel form. You're a good person, Mia. Not anymore. I look at my hands. Good people don't work for men like you. And what kind of man am I? He leans forward, his face half in shadow. Dangerous. Powerful. I meet his eyes. But maybe not as bad as I first thought. Don't fool yourself. I've done things you can't imagine. I'm starting to think I can imagine quite a lot. I pull the blanket tighter. My dad left when I was 10, just walked out and never came back. Mom got sick a year later. I used to think he knew somehow, that he left because he couldn't handle it. But now I think some people just leave because staying is hard. Is that what you think I'll do? Leave when things get hard? The question surprises me. I think you'll do whatever serves your interests best. And if my interests include keeping you safe? A warm feeling spreads in my chest that has nothing to do with the wine or the blanket. Then I guess I'm lucky. No, he says softly. I'm the lucky one. In the quiet that follows, I realize something that should terrify me. I care what happens to this man. This dangerous, complicated man who pulled me into his world with threats, but now looks at me like I'm something precious. When I was cleaning room 425, I say slowly, one of the men asked if I worked for you. I said no, that I work for the hotel. I look up at him. But that's not true anymore, is it? No. His voice is gentle. It's not. What am I to you, Vito? Just a useful spy? He reaches across the space between us and takes my hand. His skin is warm against mine. You're the first person in years who's seen me. Really seen me. Not just what I can do for them or what I might do to them. It would be easier if he'd lied. Instead, his honesty opened something inside me that I've kept locked away. I'm afraid, I whisper. Of me? Of this. I squeeze his hand. Of wanting to be here when I should be running away. He doesn't answer, just holds my hand as the night grows deeper around us. Below, the city hums with life. People going home to safe, normal lives. Lives I no longer want. The realization should scare me, but instead it feels like waking up from a long sleep. I am changing, becoming someone new. Someone who belongs in this dangerous, exciting world. Someone who isn't afraid to want more. And the strangest part? For the first time in years, I feel truly alive. You've been spending a lot of time with Mr. Ricci, Marco says one morning as I restock my cleaning cart. His words sound casual, but his eyes are sharp and watching me closely. Just doing my job, I reply, counting towels and avoiding his gaze. The fresh linens smell like the strong soap the hotel uses, clean and a bit too sweet. That's not what some people think. He steps closer, lowering his voice. The smell of his coffee mixes with the cleaning supplies. The hotel manager is asking questions. So are some of Mr. Ricci's friends. My hands freeze on a stack of washcloths. What kind of questions? Like why a hotel maid is suddenly having private meetings with Vito Ricci. Marco's voice drops even lower. Be careful, Mia. His world isn't for people like us. I nod, but his warning comes too late. I'm already deeper into Vito's world than anyone realizes. Later that day, I clean a room on the 3rd floor where 2 men in dark suits stayed the night before. Under the bed, I find a small black notebook. I should turn it in to Lost and Found. Instead, I slip it into my pocket, my heart beating faster with each step I take down the hall. That evening, Vito is waiting for me in his car behind the hotel. The black car gleams under the streetlights, windows tinted so dark I can't see inside until he opens the door. The leather seats are soft and smell new, nothing like the cracked vinyl of the bus I usually take home. How was your day? He asks as the driver pulls away from the curb. In the dim light, Vito looks tired, the lines around his eyes deeper than yesterday. Marco warned me about you, I say. He says people are asking questions. Vito's body tenses beside me. What people? The hotel manager and some of your associates. His jaw tightens and he takes out his phone, typing quickly. This is happening faster than I expected. What's happening? He puts his phone away and turns to look at me. Change of plans. Pack a bag tonight. You're staying with your cousin in Phoenix for a while. My stomach drops. I don't have a cousin in Phoenix. You do now. He slides a small booklet across the seat. A passport with my photo but a different name. Just until things cool down. I stare at the passport, not touching it. What things? Vito, tell me what's happening. His face hardens, the mask of the dangerous man returning. The less you know, the better. That's not good enough anymore. I push the passport back toward him, finding courage I didn't know I had. I deserve to know why my life is being uprooted. For a moment, I think he might get angry, or worse, just stop the car and leave me on some dark street corner. Instead, he sighs, the sound heavy in the quiet car. The men you spotted in room 425 work for someone who wants what I have. They've been asking questions about you. A chill runs down my spine. Because I helped you that night? With your cut? Because they think you're important to me. His eyes meet mine in the darkness. And they're right. The words hang in the air between us, changing everything and nothing all at once. Before I can find my voice, his phone rings. The screen lights up his face as he answers. Where? He asks, his voice sharp. How many? He listens, then says, change the meeting point, use the backup. When he hangs up, his face is grim. They're moving faster than I thought. Who? Santini's men. He taps on the glass partition and the driver makes a sudden turn. We can't go to your apartment now. Fear crawls up my throat. My mom? I've already sent someone to check on her. He puts his hand over mine. She'll be fine. I want to believe him, but the world feels like it's spinning out of control. Why is this happening? Because Santini thinks if he gets to you, he gets to me. He squeezes my hand. And he's not wrong. The car pulls up to a tall building I've never seen before. Glass and steel rise at least 30 floors into the night sky. Where are we? Somewhere safe. In the lobby, a security guard nods to Vito but doesn't speak. We take the elevator to the top floor, where it opens directly into an apartment bigger than any home I've ever been in. Floor-to-ceiling windows show the city spread out below, lights twinkling like fallen stars. You live here? I ask, turning in a slow circle to take in the sleek furniture, the huge TV, the kitchen that looks like something from a magazine. Sometimes, Vito says, shrugging off his jacket. Stay here. Don't answer the door or the phone. You're leaving? Panic rises in my chest. I have to take care of something. He checks his watch. I'll be back in a few hours. What am I supposed to do? Wait. His voice softens. Please, Mia. Just stay here where it's safe. After he leaves, I wander the huge apartment, opening drawers and cabinets. In the bedroom, his clothes hang neatly in a walk-in closet bigger than my bathroom at home. I run my fingers over the soft shirts, the expensive suits. On the bedside table, I find a framed photo. The only personal thing in the whole place. It shows a younger Vito with an older man, both smiling on a boat. His father, maybe? In the kitchen, I remember the notebook I found earlier. I take it from my pocket and flip through the pages. Inside are lists of names and numbers, some crossed out. Most I don't recognize, but one jumps out at me. Santini. Next to it is a number and an address. I take a picture of the page with my phone, then put the notebook back in my pocket. Hours pass. I try to watch TV but can't focus. I look out the windows at the city below, wondering where Vito is, what he's doing. Is he in danger? Is it my fault? Around midnight, my phone rings. The number is blocked. I shouldn't answer, but what if it's about Mom? Hello? I say, my voice small. Is this Mia? A man's voice, one I don't know. Who is this? A friend of your boss. His voice is smooth, almost kind. I'm worried about him. I don't know what you're talking about. My hand tightens on the phone. Come on, Mia. We both know you work for Vito Ricci. A pause. He's in trouble. He needs your help. If he needed help, he would call me himself. The man chuckles. Smart girl. But what if he can't call? What if something's happened to him? My heart beats faster. What do you mean? Meet me and I'll explain everything. He names a coffee shop I know, just a few blocks from the apartment. 1 hour. Come alone. He hangs up before I can answer. I pace the apartment trying to decide what to do. Vito said to stay here, to wait for him. But what if he really is in trouble? What if it's my fault? I pick up the framed photo, looking at Vito's smiling face. In just a few weeks, this dangerous man has become important to me in ways I can't explain. The thought of him hurt, or worse, makes my chest ache. I shouldn't go. I know I shouldn't. But if there's even a small chance I can help him, I grab my coat and head for the door. As I reach for the handle, I hesitate. This could be a trap. The man could work for Santini. He could be using me to get to Vito. But what if he's not? What if Vito really needs me? I close my eyes, thinking of everything that's happened since I walked into the wrong hotel room. My safe, boring life is gone, replaced by danger and excitement and feelings I never expected. I've changed, become someone who takes risks instead of playing it safe. My hand closes around the door handle. I made my choice weeks ago when I first agreed to help Vito. For better or worse, I'm part of his world now. And in his world, loyalty matters more than safety. I pull open the door, ready to step into the unknown. Whatever happens next, there's no going back. The safe house is a sleek apartment in a building Vito apparently owns. 2 of his men stand guard outside the door. Inside, I pace restlessly on the soft cream carpet. My shoes left by the door because it felt wrong to walk on something so clean. The place is big and fancy, with glass walls that show the whole city spread out like a carpet of lights. It's been 3 days since the phone call. 3 days since I almost walked into a trap. I didn't make it to the coffee shop that night. As soon as I stepped out of the elevator, one of Vito's men was waiting in the lobby. How he knew I was leaving, I'll never know. He took me to a different building, a different apartment, where Vito found me hours later. I've never seen him so angry. His face was white with rage, his words sharp as knives as he explained how Santini's men had planned to grab me, use me to get to him. I tried to explain I was worried, that I thought he was in trouble. He just shook his head and said, "You could have gotten yourself killed." Now I'm stuck here, alternating between worry for my mother, who Vito swears is being cared for, and growing doubt about the choices that led me here. The bathroom is bigger than my entire apartment, with a tub deep enough to swim in. But it's still a cage, no matter how fancy. I run my finger along the edge of the glass coffee table, not a speck of dust to be found. Someone cleaned it while I slept. Someone I never saw. In this world, people appear and disappear like ghosts, doing the bidding of men like Vito. Is that what I've become? Another ghost? The sound of the door opening makes me turn. Vito walks in, loosening his tie with a tired sigh. Dark circles hang under his eyes, and a fresh cut marks his cheek. He's been gone since yesterday morning. How long do we stay here? I ask, my arms crossed over my chest. Until it's safe, he says, the same answer he's given me every time I ask. And when will that be? My frustration boils over like water in a pot. I had a life, Vito. It wasn't much, but it was mine. Now I'm hiding in a stranger's apartment while men with guns decide my fate. He pours himself a drink from a crystal bottle. The amber liquid catches the light as it fills the glass. This isn't what I wanted for you. What did you want? Was I just convenient? Someone you could use as your spy? The words taste bitter in my mouth. He crosses the room in 3 long steps, his eyes burning with an intensity that makes me step back. If I thought you were expendable, you'd be gone already. Then why am I here? What am I to you? The question hangs in the air between us, heavy with all the things we haven't said. His expression softens, the anger draining away. You're the only person who's seen me, really seen me, in years. It would have been easier if he'd lied. Instead, his honesty cracked something open inside me, letting in light and air where before there was only confusion. I don't belong in your world, I whisper, looking down at my hands. Once they were rough from cleaning chemicals. Now they're soft, the nails growing longer. People get hurt around you. Is that what you're afraid of? Getting hurt? He's close enough now that I can smell his cologne, something expensive and clean. I'm afraid of wanting to stay, I admit. Of forgetting who I am. He reaches out, his fingers barely brushing mine. Maybe you're discovering who you could be. That night, I can't sleep. The bed is too soft, too big. Nothing like my thin mattress at home. I think about my mother in her small apartment, about my cleaning cart still sitting in the hotel hallway, about the simple life I had just weeks ago. Then I think about Vito, his confidence, his secrets, the way he looks at me like I matter. I'm caught between worlds, belonging fully to neither. In the kitchen, I find a bottle of water in the fridge that's so fancy it comes from some island I've never heard of. The cold liquid soothes my dry throat. Outside the window, the city is never fully dark, never fully quiet. Somewhere out there, people are living normal lives, going to jobs they don't like, coming home to tiny apartments, dreaming small dreams. Was that really what I wanted? Or was I just too afraid to want more? My phone buzzes on the counter, a cheap one Vito gave me, for emergencies only. The screen lights up with a text from an unknown number. We have your mother. Come alone or she dies. An address follows, somewhere across the city. My heart pounds so hard I can hear it in my ears. I stare at the message, my hands shaking. I should wake Vito, tell his men. But what if they're watching the building? What if any delay puts Mom in danger? I've spent my whole life taking care of her. I can't stop now. Quietly, I slip back into the bedroom where Vito sleeps, his breathing deep and even. In the dim light from the window, his face looks younger, the hard lines softened. I reach out to touch him, then pull my hand back. If I wake him, he'll stop me. He'll send his men, make a plan, take control like he always does. But this is my mother. My responsibility. I change quickly into jeans and a dark sweater, step into my worn sneakers. In my purse, I find the notebook I took from the hotel room, the one with Santini's address. If something happens to me, maybe it will help Vito. I write a quick note. They have Mom. I'm sorry. Then I slip out the door while the guard is changing shifts, taking the service elevator to avoid the lobby. Outside, the night air is cold against my face. I hail a taxi, giving the driver the address from the text. As the city slides past the windows, I think about the choices that brought me here. Walking into the wrong hotel room, agreeing to spy for Vito, letting myself care for a dangerous man. Each choice seemed small at the time, one foot in front of the other on a path I didn't see. But they've led me here, to this moment, racing through the dark city toward an unknown fate. The taxi stops a block from the address. You sure this is where you want to be, miss? The driver asks, looking around at the empty warehouses, the broken streetlights. Doesn't look too safe. I'm sure, I say, handing him money. Thank you. As the taillights disappear around the corner, I stand alone in the darkness, suddenly aware of how foolish I've been. I'm not like Vito. I don't know how to fight, how to negotiate with dangerous men. I'm just a hotel maid who stepped into a world she doesn't understand. But I keep walking, one foot in front of the other, thinking of my mother. thinking of Vito waking to find me gone. Will he be angry? Worried? Will he come looking for me? Or will he simply move on, finding another invisible person to use? The warehouse looms ahead, dark windows like empty eyes watching my approach. A single light burns above a side door. This is it. The point of no return. I think of Vito saying I'm discovering who I could be. Maybe he's right. Maybe this is who I am. Someone who takes risks, who faces danger, who doesn't hide anymore. Or maybe I'm just someone who's about to make the biggest mistake of her life. Either way, there's only forward now. I take a deep breath, square my shoulders, and walk toward the light, leaving the last pieces of my old self behind. The address leads to an abandoned warehouse by the river. The smell of fish and dirty water fills my nose as I approach. Every step feels heavy, like my shoes are filled with cement. The only sounds are my breathing and the distant hum of cars on the highway. A single light bulb hangs above a metal door, bugs dancing around it in the darkness. My hand shakes as I reach for the handle. It's cold against my palm, like ice. Inside, the air is stale and damp, making it hard to breathe. I squint as my eyes adjust to the dim light. Hello? My voice echoes in the empty space. I'm here. Where's my mother? 3 men step out of the shadows. The oldest one has silver at his temples and a scar that cuts through his left eyebrow. He wears an expensive suit that doesn't fit in with this dirty place. The other 2 are younger, bigger, with hands that look like they could snap a tree branch. Ms. Torres, the older man says with a smile that doesn't reach his eyes. So good of you to join us. I look around, my heart pounding against my ribs. Where is she? Where's my mother? The man gestures to a folding chair in the center of the room. She's safe. For now. He nods toward the chair. Please, have a seat. We just want to talk about your friend Richie. I stay standing, my legs ready to run even though there's nowhere to go. He's not my friend. No? The man laughs, the sound bouncing off the walls. Then why is he tearing the city apart looking for you right now? My heart skips a beat. Vito is looking for me? I just work at his hotel. The man steps closer. I can smell his cologne now. Something sharp and expensive. You're either very valuable or very good at lying. Another step. Tell me about his operation, and you both walk away. My mind races, trying to think of what to say. What does he want to know? What does he think I know? I don't know anything about his business. Wrong answer. The man nods to one of his goons who pulls out a cell phone. He turns it so I can see the screen. It shows a live video feed of my mother in her nursing home room, a man standing behind her chair. Mom looks confused, scared. Last chance, the leader says. His voice is soft, but his eyes are hard. Tell me where Richie keeps his records. Tell me about his new shipment. Tell me what he's planning. I open my mouth, not sure what will come out, when a loud crash echoes through the warehouse. The metal door flies open, hitting the wall so hard it leaves a dent. Gunshots explode in the small space, the sound hurting my ears. I drop to the floor and crawl behind a stack of wooden crates, my heart beating so fast I think it might burst. More shots, shouting, the sound of running feet. Then silence, heavy and thick like a wool blanket. I peek around the edge of the crates. The room is hazy with gun smoke that stings my eyes and nose. The older man and one of his goons lie on the ground, not moving. And there, standing in the middle of it all, is Vito. His dark suit has dust on the shoulders, but otherwise he looks calm, like he just walked in from a business meeting instead of a gunfight. You shouldn't have come alone, he says, putting his gun away inside his jacket. They have my mother, I reply, my voice breaking as I stand on shaky legs. He nods to someone behind me. Not anymore. I turn to see one of his men pocket his phone. Your mother is fine. Our people got to the nursing home first. Relief makes my knees weak. Vito catches my arm before I fall. "How did you find me?" I ask, leaning against him. "I put a tracker in your phone weeks ago." When I give him a look, he adds, "Insurance? I never thought you'd need it." "I'm sorry I left," I say, looking down at my hands. They're dirty from the warehouse floor. "I'm not." His eyes hold mine. "It showed me something important." "What?" "That I'd rather risk everything than lose you." His words wash over me like warm water, melting the ice of fear in my chest. In that moment, surrounded by danger and the smell of gunpowder, I make my choice. I reach for his hand. "Take me home," I say, and we both know I don't mean my apartment. Outside, the night air feels clean after the warehouse. Vito's car waits at the curb, engine running. Before we reach it, I stop, turning to look at him in the streetlight. "They knew things about you, about your business," I say. "They wanted information." Vito's face hardens. "Santini has been trying to take over my territory for years." "Your territory?" The word sounds strange. "What exactly do you do, Vito? Really?" He looks at me for a long moment like he's making up his mind. "My family controls certain interests in this city. Shipping, imports, protection." "You're in the Mafia," I say flatly. It's not a question. I prefer to think of it as a family business. His mouth quirks up at the corner. "Like I told you before. I should be scared. I should run as far and as fast as I can, but instead I find myself laughing, a small chuckle at first, then growing until tears form in my eyes. "What's so funny?" Vito asks, looking confused. "My whole life, I've played by the rules, worked hard, taken care of my mom. And where did it get me? Nowhere." I wipe my eyes. Then I walk into the wrong hotel room and suddenly I'm involved with a mafia boss who puts trackers in my phone and shoots people in warehouses. And this is amusing? It's crazy. I shake my head. I'm crazy, because I'm standing here thinking I'd rather be in your dangerous world than go back to my safe, boring life. His expression softens. "It doesn't have to be either or, Mia. You can still have parts of your old life. Your mother. Your dreams of becoming a nurse. With a mafia boss boyfriend?" The word slips out before I can stop it. Vito's eyebrows rise. "Is that what I am? Your boyfriend?" Heat rises in my cheeks. "I don't know what you are, what we are." He takes my hand, his fingers warm against mine. We're figuring it out. Together. A car turns the corner, headlights sweeping over us. One of Vito's men leans out the window. "Boss, we need to go. Police will be here soon." Vito nods, then turns back to me. "Last chance to change your mind. You can walk away, go back to your old life. I won't stop you." I think about my tiny apartment, my cleaning cart, the stains on the ceiling I used to count. I think about Mom, who deserves better than what I've been able to give her. I think about the dreams I put aside years ago. Then I think about Vito. With his dangerous life and his gentle hands, the way he looks at me like I'm something precious, the feeling of being alive that I get when I'm with him. "I made my choice when I came looking for you that first night in the hotel," I say, squeezing his hand. "I'm tired of being invisible." He smiles, a real smile that lights up his eyes. "You were never invisible to me." We get in the car and drive away from the warehouse, away from the police sirens in the distance. I don't look back. The old Mia might have, but I'm not her anymore. I'm someone new, someone who makes her own choices, even if they're dangerous ones. As the city passes by outside the windows, Vito's hand stays wrapped around mine. I don't know what tomorrow will bring, but for the first time in years, I'm looking forward to finding out. "Where to, boss?" the driver asks. Vito looks at me, a question in his eyes. "Home," I say firmly. Our home. And just like that, my new life begins. 6 months later, I stand at the window of our penthouse, watching the city lights flicker on as the sun goes down. The glass is cool against my fingertips as I trace the outline of buildings that look like toys from up here. Behind me, I can hear Vito on the phone, his voice low and steady as he talks about some business deal. The rich smell of coffee fills the air from the cup I made him earlier, sitting half empty on his desk. So much has changed since that night at the warehouse. I don't clean hotel rooms anymore. I don't count ceiling stains to pass the time. I don't worry about having enough money for Mom's medicine or the rent. Mom lives in the guest suite now, her health getting better under the care of the special nurses Vito hired. Her room is bigger than our whole old apartment, with windows that let in the morning sun and shelves for all her books. She knows Vito owns real estate and import businesses, and if she suspects there's more to the story, she doesn't ask. I've started nursing classes at the university. I insisted on paying my own way with the job Vito helped me get at his real estate company, a real job with a desk and a computer and people who know my name. 3 days a week, I learn how to help people, how to heal instead of just clean up messes. Vito finishes his call and walks over to me, his socks silent on the thick carpet. He stands behind me, and I can see our reflection in the window. Me in my jeans and his sweater that's too big for me. Him in his work clothes with his tie loosened. We look almost normal, like any other couple at the end of a long day. "Penny for your thoughts," he says, his hands warm on my shoulders. "Just thinking about that master key card," I reply with a small smile. How different things would be if it had worked on the right door. His arm slips around my waist, pulling me back against his chest. "You would have cleaned room 320, gone home to your apartment, and we'd have never met." Sometimes I miss the simplicity, I admit, watching our breath fog the glass. Knowing exactly what each day would bring. Regrets? His voice is casual, but I feel the tension in his body. I turn to face him, looking up into those dark eyes that once scared me so much. No, but I don't think I'll ever be completely comfortable with all of this. I wave my hand to take in the luxury around us, the life we've built, the things I try not to see. Good. He brushes a strand of hair from my face, his touch gentle. That discomfort keeps us both honest. A knock at the door breaks the moment. Dinner guests are arriving, a mix of his business associates and my friends from school. These gatherings are our way of blending our worlds, finding middle ground between his life and mine. I watch from the kitchen as Vito greets everyone, shaking hands and taking coats. He moves differently with his people. Straighter, harder somehow. The easy smile he shows me disappears, replaced by a careful mask. But when he catches my eye across the room, the mask slips just for a second, and I see my Vito underneath. Later that night, after everyone has gone and the dishes are cleaned and put away, Vito hands me a small blue box tied with a silver ribbon. "What's this for?" I ask, turning it in my hands. "It's too small for jewelry, too fancy for something simple." Open it and see. Inside, nestled on a bed of white silk, is a master key card on a thin silver chain. The card looks just like the one I used at the hotel, the one that opened the door to room 322 and changed my life forever. "What's this for?" I ask again, running my finger along the edge of the plastic card. "To remind us both," he says softly, "that sometimes the wrong door leads exactly where you need to go." I close my fingers around the key card, feeling its edges press into my palm. A solid reminder of how quickly life can change. The woman who once counted ceiling stains now counts different kinds of blessings, as complicated as they are. Vito takes the necklace and fastens it around my neck. The key card rests just above my heart. A strange but perfect gift. "Your security guy said the new alarm system is all set up," I say as we get ready for bed. I brush my teeth with the fancy mint toothpaste Vito likes, still not used to the marble counters and gold fixtures in the bathroom. After what happened with Santini, I'm not taking any chances. Vito's face darkens. We don't talk much about that night at the warehouse, about the men who died there. It's one of the shadows that live at the edges of our relationship. Things I know, but try not to see too clearly. Is he still a problem? I ask carefully. Not anymore. Vito's voice is flat in a way that tells me not to ask more questions. We settle into bed, the sheets cool and smooth against my skin. Outside, the city hums with late-night traffic and distant sirens. I rest my head on Vito's chest, listening to the steady beat of his heart. I got an A on my anatomy test, I tell him, changing the subject. His chest rumbles with a low chuckle. Of course you did. You've always been smart. Not smart enough to stay away from mafia bosses. Lucky for me. He kisses the top of my head. Our relationship exists in the spaces between his world and mine, neither of us fully changed, but both forever different. He still conducts business I pretend not to see. I still challenge him when his methods cross lines I've drawn in the sand. But we make it work. One day at a time, one compromise at a time. The foundation sent the final plans for the children's clinic, I say, my fingers tracing patterns on his skin. They want to break ground next month. This was my idea, using some of Vito's money to build a free clinic in my old neighborhood. A place where kids like I once was can get help without their parents worrying about bills. It's my way of balancing the scales, finding good in a life built on things I'd rather not examine too closely. I'll have Antonio handle the permits, Vito says. Make sure there are no delays. Thank you. I reach up and kiss his jaw, rough with evening stubble. This is the dance we do. His power used for my purpose. His darkness balanced by my light. Not perfect, but somehow right for us. I'm still not sure if this is a love story or a hostage situation, I tease, though we both know it has elements of both. His laugh is warm against my hair. The best relationships usually do. In the morning, life will go on. Vito will make his calls and run his empire. I will go to class and learn how to heal the sick. We'll move in our separate worlds and come back together at the end of the day, bringing pieces of those worlds with us. It's not the life I planned. It's better and worse and infinitely more complicated. It has dangers I never imagined and joys I never dared hope for. As I drift toward sleep, the master keycard rests against my skin, a reminder of the door that opened when I wasn't looking. Of the life I found when I stopped being afraid to want more. Vito's arm tightens around me, holding me close as the night deepens outside our windows. In this moment, balance between danger and devotion, I know I wouldn't change a thing. I've finally found where I belong, not in his world or mine, but in the one we've created together. A world with its own rules, its own risks and rewards. A world where a hotel maid and a mafia boss can find something neither expected, a home in each other's hearts. And in that understanding, I find peace at last.